So yesterday we looked into aspect of how perception can be changed. So the whole aspect of Buddha Dhamma is to change the perception. That's it. Nothing else. So this was known earlier, but they didn't know how to really do it. And Buddha is one person who taught how to change perceptions on a fly. Means you can just change. Just like we have a perception that we have a home, you can change the perception that you don't have a home. So the first time when I looked into this anagarika, when they were in Sri Lanka, they were saying that if you were to do desana, you should put your name anagarika. So just reflecting about what I should do on anagarika. I know the meaning, but I didn't go so depth into it. So like anagara, agara means house or home. Anagara means homeless. So in the normal parlance, you can say that, yeah, he doesn't stay in home. But what are the home? There are 6 homes: eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. So how about cutting them off? So I thought it's a good thing for me. So should I go to a monastery and become a monk? You just have to change your perspective. You don't have to go anywhere. You can be a monk inside. Like Intel inside, idiot outside. So something like that, you can make monk inside and family man outside. Doesn't make any difference because you're able to change the perception. As long as you can change perception, so long you can really see for yourself the consciousness exactly works the way it should work. There's no problem at all. And that's the reason Buddha keeps on saying consciousness is pure and bright. It has no coloring. The things which get colored will make it look colored, but actually it doesn't get colored at all. Anyway, now coming back to the sutta, where we had left the other day, is that we need to see, okay, how to enter into the second jhana. That's the most important aspect of this Pottapada Sutta. Is each one of these jhanas which will change the perspectives. So, just to tell you, those people who think entering into jhana is not okay, you have to change your perspective that without entering into jhana, it is not okay. Now, if somebody has an intention that only looking at the sensation is okay, body sensation, you have to change the perspective that looking at the body sensation is just the beginning and not the end. Okay. So, the sooner you give up the seeing of the body sensation, faster is the progress. Why? Because you'll hold on to the perception that this is the only truth and everything is false. Mogha manyam iti. That's a view because of the perception. So just a caution, I want to tell you that we need to be clear that if you want to progress on Dhamma, you should let go of the wrong view of sensation. Why is it a wrong view? Because it stops you from exploring Dhamma further. Okay, so now why this thing comes into existence here is because you need to see all the jhanas. Because he says, Punacha param Pottapada bhikkhu vitakka vicharam upasamajjatam sampasadanam chetaso eko bhavam avitakam avicharam samadhijam piti sukham dutiyam jhanam upasampajya viharati tassa ye ya purima vivekaja piti sukha sukhamu satcha sanya sa nirujjati samadhi piti sukhamu satcha sanya tasmim samaye hoti samadhi piti sukha sukuma satcha sanyeva tasmim samaye hoti evampi sikha ekasanni upajjati sikha ekasanni nirujjati ayampi sikkati bhagava avocha. This says that in the earlier occasion, I taught you to do the viveka discrimination of what should be done. That means remove the akusala and the sensual and start on the savitakka savichara, say breath. And now you don't have to continue doing that. Stop it. No, it is very good. Stop it. No, sir, it is pretty good. Stop it. Because there is better than that. This is the same thing is in there in Panchakanga Sutta, but this is far more nice sutta to understand changing of perception. So he says the sanya, what was there earlier, is replaced by avitakka vichara. You don't have to now think on the breath. You are able to see the breath in the whole body. So what should I do if I am from a Goenka technique? Instead of sensation, replace it with breath. That's it. Nothing else to be done. So when you do a whole body scanning, don't scan the sensations. Scan the breath. Why is it important? It is important from the point of view of samatha. Then what happens? Your perception changes. Piti sukha will start. So you changed one perception to another perception, and that is what is called a sikhati. He learns through his own learn. So if somebody asks, is there a free will? It's yes. Why? You are able to change it. Change at will. You're bringing the conditions. When the conditions are brought, works. What if I'm only watching sensations? It doesn't work. You'll be getting the same result. Nothing else is going to change. So you can't do the same experiment and expect different result. You do the same experiment, you get the same result. Whether I do for a 10-day course, I do a 20-day course, whether I do a 30-day course, whether I do a 45 days course, whether I do a 60 days course or 100 days course or 500 days course or 1000 days course or lifelong course, the sensation is a sensation, and that's it. There's nothing more to do. It's just like somebody got stuck up in first jhana and is unwilling to let go of it. And he thinks that's all what it is. There is something better than first jhana, the second jhana. So change your perspectives. Now he says, okay, the person reluctantly then changes his perspective. Then, for it to sustain, he is doing vidaka vichara upasama, calming down, upasama, calming it down. He's calming it down. Okay. And when he calms down, what happens? It becomes easy, very, very easy for him to do what he's supposed to do. That is, he can enter now into the second jhana, Purima Sanya, earlier perception, which was Viveka, Vivekaja, Piti, Sukha, Sukuma Satya Sanya. Sukuma means Sukshma, which means subtle. Satya Sanya. What was the Satya Sanya at that time? First jhana. Now he's letting it go. Just let it go. Don't hold. Just let it go. I just let it go. Then what happens? I get into the second jhana. Samadhi, Piti, Sukha, Sukama Satya Sanya. Now I get Piti, Sukha and Samadhi. Okay? So that perception got changed to this perception. In the same way, like we discussed yesterday on Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami, Arhat, it's all about giving up perceptions. That's it. If somebody is having doubt, am I a Sotapanna or not a Sotapanna, he's struggling because his perceptions have not yet changed. And he thinks something magical is going to happen. No magical thing will happen. It's all about letting go, not holding on to. And in fact, in the Ratavinita Sutta, it's pretty clear. Why should you follow Buddha Dhamma? Not for holding on to, but to let it go. Okay, so we might have heard these words and heard everything, but yet the mind doesn't want to let go of it. If that is truth, you can't progress because the sanya has to change. So when we just say anicca, 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 like one small child of 10 years of age, it's not going to work. Just by saying anitya or anicca is not going to help, because what we are strengthening is nicca in place of anicca. If I'm going to retreat all the time, it is nicca sanya. Simple as that. I am an idiot. Why? Because it is nicca. It stays. So every 3 months, I book one retreat and go. A drug addict will go and find drugs. An alcoholic goes and find alcohol. A sex addict will go and find something on sex. Simple. Can I stay without that? Because you need to remove one perception and make another perception. So when I do that, it becomes easy. So should I enter into jhanas? Yes. Okay. So when I do this, I come to the third jhana. So he says, Punacha param pottapada bhikkhu pitiya cha viraga upekha go cha viharati sato cha sampajanyo sukhancha kayena pati samvedeti yam tam arya achikhanti upekho satima sukha viharati iti tatiyam jhanam upasampajya viharati tassa e purima samadhi piti sukha sukuma satcha sanya sa nirujjati upekha sukha sukuma satcha sanya tasmim samaye hoti upekha sukha sukuma satcha sanyeya तस्मिन् समये होति एवंपि सिक्खा एकसंज्ञा उपज्जति सिक्खा एकसंज्ञा निरुज्जति अयंपि सिक्खा इति भगवा आवोच. He says furthermore, Pottapada, whatever rapture was there, it just got faded away. The joy fades away. So when it fades away, he knows it is faded away. Then he comes into sukha because it is replaced by upekha, equanimity. As it boils on equanimity, the sukha keeps on increasing. So when I get there, I know I'm dwelling in the third jhana. At that time, the earlier perception of subtle truth, which was of rapture and pleasure born of this samadhi, ceases. And there arises a perception, truth of pleasure with equanimity. Through this training, one perception arises, and through training, another perception goes away. Okay, so I change the perception. So when I come to the third jhana, a fantastic thing happens. I now see for myself this sukha is lasting for a week or more. That means I don't have to do anything to get the sukha. And this is the Arya way of sukha, because you don't have to create. It's there. So the piti comes for 3 to 4 days and the sukha comes for a week. So from morning till evening to the night, and the next day morning to the evening to the night, and like that for a week or more, you are in sukha. You're suffused in sukha. It doesn't diminish. It just stays. Slowly on the 5th or 6th day, it starts to slightly fade, and by 7th or 8th day, it completely fades off. And then it can enter into the 4th jhana. So what he says, Sukhasya cha pahina, dukkasya cha pahina, pubbeva somanasa domanasanam attangama, adukka sukham pikha, sati parisuddham chatuttam jhanam upasampajya viharati, tassa e purima upekha sukha, sukhuma satcha sanya sa nirujjati, adukkama asukha satcha sanya tasmim samaye hoti, adukka sukhama sukha sukuma satcha sanyeya tasmim samaye hoti evampi sikha eka sanya upajjati sikhe eka sanya nirujjati ayampi sikhati bhagava avocha. That means how to do it. First, on day 5, what I do, I notice the change. So I reflect upon somanasa domanasa. And I let go of both somanasa and domanasa. So the body pleasure and pain also goes off along with it. So when I remove both pleasure and pain cycle from the conscious experience, the perception changes. This time to upekha. And when there is upekha, it lasts for a month. For one full month, I don't have to do anything. It's just upekha, equanimity. No matter whatever comes or doesn't come, doesn't affect. Now, at this point, there's no irritation from anything because there is no domanasa to get irritated. And because of that, there is no dukkha sanya of the body also. That means there is no reaction. It's just action. No need for a reaction. Just be. Then there's no pleasure. Like somebody is appreciating me forever. Or or something is pleasurable, like the taste, the sight, or sound. It's just equanimous. And at the end of 26th day or 28th day, it starts to fade. So the joy came for 3 or 4 days, and the sukha, happiness, came for roughly a week and more. And now the upekha has come for a month. So nothing in the sensuality can last that long. So I have a change of perception at the 4th jhana, which makes me an anagami. And hence, my sensuality is gone. Because I have seen through my own insight that if I take any sensual object, it comes for minutes at the max. There is pleasure, but it comes for a minute, few minutes. That's it. Let's say I do pretty well in my career and then I've filed a patent and the patent is approved. How much time does I get to enjoy that patent? Few minutes. And I get a royalty. Okay, 1 million US dollars. Okay, great. Once it transferred to my account, now there is suffering. Why? I have to pay tax. I don't want to pay tax. It's my hard-earned money. And then the government takes 35% tax. And conversion fees, $1 million into 85 is 8 crores, 50 lakhs into 35%. Whooping 3 crores deducted from my account, letting me with 5 crores plus. So one of my friends suggests, Vilas, I will give you an idea. I'll help you how to save tax. So instead of this happiness, now it is sorrow. Because my happiness is in the eyes of saving that tax. So somehow after my friend helped me a lot finding out, I paid 1.5 crores as tax. So at least I get 6 crores in my account. Sorry, 7 crores in my account. Okay, 7 crores, what do you want to do? I want to buy a villa. Great. Which villa? Again, the pain starts. Now, villa outside Bangalore. Sure? Yeah. Huge one. I say 10,000 square feet. Fine. Gated community. Done. When will you shift there? That's another pain. Until my son starts earning, I can't shift. He has to settle down. Okay. So what do you do with that house? It'll become my weekend home. Can you drive that far? Well, appoint a driver. Okay. But it's so much of trouble driving on Bangalore roads. So it's just dukkha. Instead, I just enter into fourth jhana and sit. Which is better? Buying a villa in Bangalore is better, or getting into fourth jhana? Don't have to pay a single rupee as tax for 1 month of ride. And the end of it, you're sure to be an anagami. That's far better. Far, far better. So why don't I do that? And that's what he does. He changes the perception from the sensual to the non-sensual. That's it. So the kamachanda is gone. So what does happen to the vyapada? It's also gone. Do you want a certificate? Or which the sutta says that? You know it, you don't have it. Simple. Why should you go and print a sutta to see this much? So when I do that, I see a change in perception. And that's all. Done with it. So 5 fetters are gone. Lower fetters. Good. Celebrate. Yes. For 1 full month, I can be in upekha. At the end of it, I can come back to first jhana. Then I can come to second jhana. First jhana stays for 1 day. Second jhana stays for 3 to 4 days. Third jhana stays for a week. Again, I can get into fourth jhana, which makes it on 1 full month. I can keep on enjoying this game. What a luck I found. So can I not have free will? Yes. Should I believe in ahetuka? Because I can change perception. Should I believe in God? No. Should I believe in destiny? No. Should I believe in Buddha Dhamma? No. What? Not believe in Buddha Dhamma? No. Have faith in Dhamma, not believe. Because now you have seen it working. So there's no need at all to believe in Dhamma. It's an experiential reality, not just a belief. Should I believe in Parmi? No. Should I believe in this, that? No need. Why? Because I just changed the perception. It's not there. What not there? The kamachanda and vyapada is not there. That's it. That's the end of the story. Can you test it? Yeah, test it. You just see the sukha you get in this versus the sensual pleasures. That's it. You'll come to see it. So does that mean I'll not have Starbucks coffee? Have it. You know it lasts for a few minutes. So now that means you'll not go to Australia. What is Australia got to do with it? I can go to Australia. I can even go to moon. It doesn't matter. But the pleasure is few moments. Yeah, there is pleasure. Absolutely, there is pleasure. But is there a better pleasure than this pleasure? Yes, absolutely. So change the perspectives. Works. You have to let go of something to get something. So you let go of sensual to get the jhanic. Simple. No, I want to keep both. That's not possible. I want to run away from my family. You run away from yourself. That's all what is required. That yourself is the problem. Just let go of that yourself and be with everyone. Family is troubling me. No, you are troubling the family more than the family troubling you. Because you are not at peace. You are in pieces and you think the family is in making you in pieces. No. Change the perspective. They are not your family at all. There are also some meditators who have got mixed up and they are with you. They are meditating on worldly thing, you are meditating on something. That's all. Both are meditating on. They are meditating on this perception and you are meditating on that perception. By training either way, you let go of one to get the other. Clear? You can do it. It's just do it. JDI, or you can say DIY. Do it yourself. You don't require any bhante, any stupid guy to tell you what to do. You're a self-made person. Maybe you might require someone to say, okay, I did it this way, you do it that way. That's okay. But no relying on anyone. Not at all required. So we shouldn't become a handicap by relying on someone. In fact, Buddha says that. I don't know why people don't understand. That you are not supposed to rely on anyone. You have to make your own island. Be a refuge unto yourself, not to anyone. As simple as that. Anyway, now we go further. So now from Anagami, where should I go? The next one is Akash and Chayatana. Now here is the thing. I have reached till here. In 1 month time, it solidifies into a nice non-living yet living experience. You're at peace. Now it's the time to cut off the bondage of the 4 walls. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm sitting here. So I sit and I say, let the walls be broken. So through my manasikara, as in making up the mind, I cut off the left-hand side of the wall. In the mind, the wall goes away. And the right-hand side of the wall, and the behind, and the front. Ceiling comes crumbling down. And then what happens? Start reflecting. This is the 3rd floor. What is below the third floor, second floor? What is below the second floor, first floor? What is below the first floor? It's ground. And in the US, you use it only first floor as ground. What is below the first floor? Just the land. What is below the land? Water. What is below the water? Fire. What is below the fire? Air. What is below the air? Space. Where is Earth? In space? Yes. Now that is infinite space. Now do the same thing with your body. What is inside this skull and all this bone? Water. What is inside water? Fire. What is inside fire? Air. What is inside air? Space. Both are gone. You get just space. Is that your space? My space? Or just space? Just space. What is the eye seeing? Space. What is the ear sensing? Space. What's the nose sensing? Space. What's the tongue sensing? Space. What's the body sensing? Space. What's the mind sensing? Space. So which sphere? Its sense sphere is experiencing space. Just infinite space. Excellent job. Are you staying in infinite space? So there's no form. So you transcend the experience of the form. And when you do that, there is no resistance. So now the conscious experience is flotation. You're just floating. There's no you to float, it's just flotation. So when I float like this, now their perception of what? Perception of variety is gone. What is variety? Animals, birds, insects, worms, humans, plants, then mountains, etc., etc. In fact, in Chula Shunyata Sutta, he teaches how to do it. Buddha is one guy who doesn't leave anyone in lurch. And this one, what I just now did, is my own finding. So this will not find in the sutta of what is below the second floor, third floor, and second and first and all that. Because that's how I experienced infinite space. So you don't have to follow what I'm saying. And don't try to search that in the sutta and ask me where you just explained that in the sutta. Because at that time, there were no floors or anything like that. But if you want to do it, it is there in Chula Shunyata Sutta, where he tells how to do it. Just cover the whole thing up with buffalo skin. One round of caution. If you have not attained 4 jhana, you will never be able to get it. They all are interlinked. If you have not done the third, you will not get fourth. If you have not got the second, you will not get into third. If you have not got into the first, you will never get into second. So don't imagine the jhana. Get into jhana. Okay? no imagination. So when I get into the fifth jhana, it's Akashan Chaitana. So what did I do? I changed the perception of equanimity into spaciousness and infinite space, where no resistance whatsoever exists. How long can the infinite space exist? It exists for more than 2 months if you do it right. That means you will feel so light in the body and in the mind. It seems like you're always in space. And your health is going to tremendously improve. Why? Because there's no strain. Absolutely non-strain. You're at ease. And while closing your eyes, what's there below this? This, done. And that's it. Click here, you're in fifth jhana. Now, this arupa jhana is possible for an anagami at the wink or like this, like a finger. Just get simple. So now your fifth jhana can stay for a long time, because from rupa we are coming to the arupa. So the rupa sanya ceases. And then this is the most critical part of this whole equation. Is the sixth jhana, where the perception of space ceases. In its place, just the pure awareness comes, leading on to just the infinite conscious experience of external and internal gone. Just conscious of what? How many consciousnesses are there? 6. And that's it. There is no my eyes, as in my I consciousness. It's just I consciousness and ear. How many eyes are there in this world? How many ears are there? How many tongues are there? How many nose are there? How many bodies are there? How many minds are there? That many is you. It gives you a unified experience of consciousness, meaning all round awareness of internal and external, as no internal and no external. This helps when you get into the seventh jhana, no self, akinchayatana, nothingness, because there's no self experience. This is where dhite matam starts. The reason why I took this sutta was to explain what he explained to Bahya. So you get into dhite matam bhavisati. The witness consciousness. This is the witness consciousness I'm coming to. Just witnesses without name and form association. Just be the observer. If I am dhite mattam, I am sute mattam, then mute mattam, as in smell, as in taste, as in touch. And vinyate mattam, just cognition, just cognizing. Nothing as labeling, before the labeling. So the experience now, what I have, is a complete perception change from myself to no self. And that culminates with Cheto Vimukti, released by the mind. What was holding in the mind? I. What did it give up? I. So that's a fantastic part of this experience. So at any point in time, you can stay in the seventh jhana. Because now you are not troubled by anything. So if I'm going out on a shopping, I can create the experience of shopping and let it go after the shopping is over. Don't have to hold. Then the experience of driving, just cognition of driving. That's it. Just the cognition of driving, just the cognition of shopping, just the cognition of talking, just the cognition of sitting, just the cognition of standing. Like that. That's the beauty of changing perception in seventh jhana. Almost 6 and 7 goes together. That is, as soon as you get infinite consciousness, it is replaced by nothingness. And from here, things get slightly crazy. You start to transcend itself into the 8th jhana, which is neither perception nor non-perception, because you don't have anything to perceive. You're not going behind it. So because of that, the perception ends. But little perception exists. It will become difficult for someone to be interacting with the world in the 8th jhana. So always it is by nature, they come to the 7th jhana to interact. They interact without any attachment. Because there's nothing to attach. No self. This is actually true self experience. Nothing belonging to a self. In fact, there's one sutta where Buddha explains that this is the best thing one can do, is to stay in 7 and 8 jhana, transcending everything. Now we come to the almost to the end of it. That's the limit of perception. Sanyag. Agraja means that's it, foremost, 8 jhana, that's it. You can't go beyond that. So 8 jhana practice is a must, not an option, a must. Okay. So he says here, Yatha ko pottapada bhikkhu idas sakasanya hoti so tato amutra anupubbena sanyagam pussati tassa sanyagye titassa evam hoti cheta ya manassa me papiyo acheta manase me seyo ahancheva opana chetiyam Abhisankarayam ima cha me sanya nirujjeyum anya cha olanka sanya upajjeyum jenu hanam na cheva chetayam na cha abhisankarayanti. So na cheva cheteti na cha abhisankaroti tassa achetayato anabhisankaro anabhisankaroto ta cheva sanya nirujjanti anya cha olarika sanya na upajjanti. So nirodham pussati evam ko pottapada anapubba abhinasankara nirodha sampagnya samapatti hoti. That means Pottapada, a bhikkhu here has perception, and from there he progresses gradually from one stage to another. He reaches the highest state of perception. Standing at the limit of perception, this thought arises in him: if I were to intend and construct an volition, it would be a verse for me. I do not intend and do not construct, which is better for me. Or if I were to intend and construct this perception of mine, would cease and grosser perception would arise. What if I neither intend nor construct? So he neither intends nor constructs. In one who does not intend nor construct, these perceptions cease and other gross perception do not arise. Thus he attains cessation, and thus Pottapada. This is the progressive attainment of cessation of perception with sampajanya. So for those people who want to know how to attain Nirodha Samāpatti, is don't ask for anything. The perception ends. And letting go of Vedana. And that becomes Sanya Vedaita Nirodha. So here is the steps by step we followed from first jhana. Before the first jhana, the worldly things like that. We kept on changing perceptions. As the perception changed, so the experience changed. You know the experience has changed. I don't have to go and ask anyone. So now what happens? Between an anagami and arhat, there are 6 steps to liberation. The first step to liberation is to let go of attainment. The second step to liberation is to see things as they are. Yatha bhuta jnana. The third step of liberation is to stop conditionality, which is making up any perceptions. The fourth step is to ensure the witness consciousness is diminished. The fifth step is letting go of the witness consciousness. Sixth step is no step. These are the 6 steps of liberation. Vimukha jnana. So you just stop at the 4th or at the 3rd of vimukha. And whenever want, jump into that. And that turns into Arhat Pada Samāpatti. And that's it. After that, what happens? I don't know. Because there are multiple views of somebody taking ropes or dying and all that. I don't know what really it means. Okay. Maybe. Let's keep it in abeyance. But having seen till the 3 steps of liberation, it seems very nice to me now than earlier. It's stilling for the last so many days. It's much better experience than all the experiences I have had in these number of years. That much I can certainly say. Where it leads to me in the next 3 steps, I don't know. I'm taking it slow and trying to see how it leads. And Venugopal had shared me one Milinda Panha, where it says that either he takes robes or he attains Parinibbana. Okay, so let's see. There's a lot of climbing more to go. I can see the Mount Everest, but still not climbed it. So there ends my journey onto this. So Buddha asks the final question to Pottapada. Tam kim manyasi Pottapada apinu te iti ito pubbe eva rupa anu pubba abhisanya nirodha samapatti Nirodha Samapatti sutta pubba iti. What do you think, Pottapada? Have you ever heard before such a sequential progressive attainment of cessation of perception with sampajanya? And the Buddhas and this guy says no. No hetam bhante, evam ko aham bhante, bhagavato bhasitam ajanami. I've never heard anything like that. But this is step by step, gradual attainment. And the beauty of Buddha is you don't require any teacher except for Buddha. No agency commission to anyone. No TAC. Agency commission. Transfer of agency commission. Not required. All that you need to know is to penetrate the sutta. So, and some basic meditation techniques, which I thought you all have. Either Goenka or Chuladasa or whatever it is. And that's it. You should get it, everything by yourself. Do it yourself. That's it, 9:30 now. I'm done for this Pottapada Sutta. Any questions before we close the session or any comments? Yeah, Shania.
Yeah. Just you said the 6 steps. The last step was
No step.
no step.
No step.
Interesting.
Yeah, because you have to let go. It's seizing.
Yeah.
Just seizing.
Yeah.
You just give up what you are holding for. That's it. Yes, Bobby.
Yes, you can, if you can quickly say that 6 steps again, it will be good. I think you are saying it very fast. The last
The last step is no step.
Yeah, that I heard.
And what's the fifth one?
Okay, can you explain? I was like you are saying some like after that all the perceptions and everything. I have done 3 of them, and then remaining 3 are remaining something like that. You told.
No, it's all about removing the witness consciousness in 6 stages. See, there is a witness consciousness. What happens here in the Mahatanha Sankhya Sutta? If Sati would have asked, is there a witness consciousness? Buddha would have loved to explain it. He asked about a single consciousness which goes from one life to another. So the key aspect here is there is 6 consciousness and a witness. The witness consciousness is also dependent on these 6 ayatanas. So when you end the journey after the anagami and you're going towards arhat, you need to start to look at loosening out the witness consciousness, because there's nothing more to witness. So slowly and steadily you let go of 6 steps. Otherwise, when we meet tomorrow, I can explain the whole 6 steps for everybody's benefit. How to do it also.
Okay.
DIY. Yes, Ariyu.
Sorry, but very quickly, what was the first? I missed that first.
That's okay. Tomorrow morning. If you miss it, you miss it. That's the reason I was so soft and slowly saying that. My idea was, how much sati do you have? I can tell you all the 6 steps, but it's not going to help you. Anyway, tomorrow we'll do it. For sure. I'll take all the 6 of them, because that helps me in getting where I wanted to get. But yet, now don't search for the 6 steps in the sutta. I've taken it from various suttas. Especially for you, Bobby, don't message me saying that, can you tell me which are the suttas where this is mentioned? I can show to you when I'm in Australia along with Shaniel, when you're coming there, I'll show you particular sutta where it says this one and this one and this one and this one, and make out all the 5 steps. And the last step is to let go of things, which is there in the Rathavinita Sutta. If in fact you were to understand Rathavinita Sutta, you will not have asked this 6 steps question at all, because all the 6 steps are there only. Is it for Sila Visuddhi? He says no. If it is for Chitta Visuddhi, he says no, like that. Anutpada Nibbana Dhatu. That is the last step. Where just, yes, Shania.
I had another question to ask you about sunyata, and I mean that's emptiness.
Mm-hmm.
Does that correspond to any of those jhanas, or is it something different?
The emptiness is minusing raga, dvesha, moha. That is true emptiness.
Okay.
In fact, there's a sutta for that where the question is asked, what is shunyata? When you say shunyata, what does that mean? He says, devoid of raga, dvesha, moha. In fact, it is there in Mahavedala Sutta as well.
Okay.
Nigo.
Okay.
Nigo means like a iron, what we can say, like a prison, right? Nigha means to prison, imprison. Anigha means non-imprisoned. That is raga, rago nigo, doso nigo, moho nigo. That's also there in the Chitta Vagga. There is a sutta on that where Chitta explains what is nigha. So, anigo, that is the reason it says aham avero homi, abhyapajo homi, anigo homi. That is, I am out of prison. Then your actual sukha, sukhi attanam pariharami. Means you are in Nibbana. Now you are wishing that Nibbana to everyone. So when somebody asks me, can you send me metta? I initially used to laugh with myself. I have not attained Nibbana. From where will I send you that metta? Because the most happiest moment of all is Nibbana, Paramam Sukham.
Mhm.
Only when I attain Nibbana, then I can share it with anyone. Now I can do it, but earlier on, I never knew. So when I started reading Chitta Vagga, I understood what he is talking about in Nikha. Ani go homi, and in English translation, it is even more worse. So I was thinking, what is he trying to say? What is this Nikha? Because it starts with Sukhi Attanam Pariharam. And there's Atta. See, we're proposing Anatta. He's saying Atta. Sukhi Attanam Pariharam. That means Atta is there, right?
Mhm.
Now, what do you mean by Anatta? Buddha would be a most confused person, I think. So if I meet him, I'm going to tell him, stick to one thing. Either you say Anatta or you say Atta. What is this making people confused? And another confusion is Attahi, Attano Nato. Koi Nato Parosiya. That means nobody will come to your refuge. My question would be, when you yourself is not there, why should somebody come to your refuge?
Mhm.
But then I understood. What he means is that witness consciousness, and that witness consciousness is going to be there until parinibbana. So if you get nibbana, you're still within the conscious experience. At death, that established consciousness, or rather the witness consciousness, attains parinibbana, means get extinguished. That is there in Vachagota Sutta, Aggi Vachagota Sutta. He explains beautifully there. That clicked me. Now I get it. What he's saying. So there are two consciousness. One is sixth consciousness. Another one is the witness consciousness.
Yes.
And that's the reason he keeps on saying Vinyanam, Anidasanam, Anantam, Sabbatopabam. Yatta patavicha apocha tejocha vayo nagadati yatta digancha rasancha anuthula subha ashubham yatta namancha rupancha asesam uparujjati vinyanasa nirodhena yattesam uparujjati. It means that the vinyana is anidasana. Nidasana means illustrative. You can write on that. Anidasana means you cannot write, means it cannot be established. It doesn't establish at all. It just is an onlooker, just like a screen. The sixth consciousness will come and throw itself on the screen of the movie. So this screen starts to jump around, which it should not have been. It shouldn't matter what is coming on the screen. One fine day, this consciousness lights up, obscuring the sixth consciousness which is throwing light on it. And this consciousness starts to laugh. Idiot, if I don't give you the screen, will you be able to project? Dumb fellow, let me switch it off for you. And when he does that, it's gone. And that's the reason Godika Sutta, Mara comes in search of Vijnana, which he can't find, because that witness consciousness is extinguished. Now I started understanding in a proper way. I was totally confused that Buddha says anatta, and these idiots have translated it to anatma, and they have made it as no self, which is even more confusing. And if there is no self, then who is watching? Who will become an anagami? Who will become an arhat? Who will become a sotapanna and sakatagami? If nobody is there, what's the big deal then? Why should you be so worried of getting into the apaya? Right? Since you are not there, it doesn't matter. Right? And then who is staying in India then? If nobody is there, who is staying and who is going home? Who is eating? Who is sleeping? It was looking weird for me for first few years. What is this guys writing anatma? And I searched all the suttas to find, has Buddha spoken anything on Atma? There's not even one single sutta which says Atma. Forget Anatma. He says Anatta. But where this Anatma came? What is Atma? Just totally, for the next few years, I was being irritated with this translations. Then I came to know, okay, this is what he means, and it is fact. It's a fact. Is you have created a personality from nowhere, because the sixth consciousness makes up the personality as whoever it is. And that is projecting on this, which is anidasana. It doesn't get illustrated. When it gets illustrated, it takes this sixth consciousness as itself and saying that I am this body. And hence it makes sense when he says Chakku Anatta, Rupa Anatta, because it's not yours. Wherever the consciousness gets established, it gets those kind of eyes and ears and nose and tongue and body and the mind. It's not yours. Yes, bravo. Got it. So in the end, you just have to switch off. And that's Nibbana. Switch on, you're back in this world. Just for operating reasons, you are just operating it. And at the end, since the six consciousness are going to get died, they're going to die. The parinibbana is this supportive consciousness, which is nothing but the witness, goes away. In fact, nobody asks in Vipassana, any assistant teacher, Sakshi Bhava, who? Goenka keeps on repeating like a puppet. Sakshi Bhav, Drashta Bhav. Somebody should ask, who is this? If it is Anatma, who is this? Some witness is there, right? Show me that witness. You're saying there's no witness, but you yourself saying Sakshi Bhav. I can understand. Bhokta Bhav means one who is enjoyer. Okay. Karta Bhav means one who is doing it. Oh, fine. I can give you that lease. What about Sakshi Bhav? Who is Sakshi? Tell me there's a witness. Without witnessing, how can you say Chitta arises and Chitta passes away? That means somebody is watching it, right? Then I'll say mind is watching itself. If mind is watching itself, then somebody should be watching that mind also. It gets even more muddled up.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. So, I was wondering, how does he say that? There is a witness, but that's not a permanent entity as a self. It's just light. So it will light up as long as things are there to be shown. When there's nothing to be shown, it gets extinguished. And that's what he says to the Vacha. Saying that, Vacha, I'll tell you one thing. You see that log of wood there? Yes. Is it burning? Yes. The fire is burning the wood, or wood is burning the fire. The fire is burning the wood. How long would it last? As long as the wood has fuel. After that, it gets extinguished. The same way, Vacha, consciousness gets extinguished if there is no food. And what is the food for consciousness? Raga, Dvesha, Moha. So if that itself is not there, it becomes shunya, empty. If it is empty, it gets extinguished. So that is parinibbana.
Thank you.
Sure. Yes, Venugopal, go ahead.
So, what is the definition of anatta, sir?
Anatta means beautiful question. That's all I can say. Atta means person, a person or a satta. In fact, you should go to the root of it. It starts with sattva. Sattva means satta. In Pali, satta. In general, there is in Buddha Dhamma a typical word called as satta, meaning any living being. That living being can be considered as something, so that can be experienced. So that which has an experience is atta. Anatta is you don't have anything as a permanent experiencer. As it keeps on reducing its perceptions and perceptions going away, it starts to become anatta. Because if you look at the Anatta Lakkana Sutta, he explains there why it is anatta, because there is no control. You can't take control of your eyes and say, I will make you watch this. No. Ears, I will make you hear this. No. Like that. So that means there's nothing to control. It's just a process. All the thing comes, whether you like also will come, you dislike also will come, you neither like nor dislike also will come. But if we change the perception, what happens? It turns anatta. If you keep perception, it turns itself into atta. It's I am. So in English, not many words are there. So when RHYS David, she made translation through this one, Theosophical Society with Annie Besant. She translated it in English as no self. And when it was again retranslated back into whatever Indian languages, they made it as anatma. So from then onwards, the problem started with atma anatma theory. Okay, so this is the short story of this long episode. But anyway, you can take it whatever you want, whether it is, you want to call it anatma, atma, whatever. Ultimately, there is no permanent thing there as neither being there or not being there. And that's the reason Buddha never answers these questions, 10 questions. In fact, in Upanishad as well as in Buddha Dhamma, there is no concept of Atma. There is Jiva. So, tam jivam, tam shariram, anyam jivam, anyam shariram. That's the actual. And in English, they have made it as no self. Self. It's actually Jiva, life. So, is there body and life are the same thing, or life is one thing and body is another thing? Tam jivam, tam shariram, anyam jivam, anyam shariram. So you can make it as self. So then the soul, S-O-U-L, soul. So the soul is one thing and the body is another thing, and body and the soul are the same thing. If body and the soul are the same thing, it becomes annihilationist. And if body is one thing, soul is another thing, it becomes sasattavada. That means shashvatavada. That means it's permanent. The soul is going to be there forever and the body keeps on changing. That's the question.
Sir, one more thing.
One second. I'll just finish with Anusha and then I'll again take your question.
Okay.
Yeah, Anusha.
Theruvan Saranai Vilasji.
Theruvan Saranai.
My question is, now the Sotapanna, Sakuridagami and Anagami, I don't know whether some sort of an awareness there which is different from worldly to Takjana, right? So then, but still Asmimana is there. And Asmimana is when the Arahat loses it. And then some sort of awareness is there once the Asmimana is fully eradicated. Correct? In third stage, when Arahat goes into Arahat Phala Samāpatti, they take Vijnana Manidasaran or Nibbana as its object. So I presume there is some sort of an awareness which is not the normal, the worldling awareness, not the up to Anagami awareness, not Asmimana, so some sort of, so 4 kinds of awareness is being taught. Can you please explain a little bit?
No, it's just awareness. That's it. And you keep on creating whatever. It's just like now you don't know it is created. There you will start creating. Even at Anagami you can create. But it is not stable enough. So at Arhat it is very stable. What I mean to say is that when I see you, Anusha, I can create Anusha for the interaction I'm having and drop Anusha the moment the interaction is over. Whereas for a Sakadagami, Anagami, and an sek like Sotapanna, it's pretty difficult to create and destroy because there's no panya developed in creating and destroying it. Sotapanna cannot create and destroy. Sakadagami can create and destroy for some time, meaning better than a Sotapanna. Anagami can create and destroy almost like an Arhat. But Arhat doesn't have to put any effort to create and destroy. He just creates and destroys.
Okay, and the Arahat Pala Samāpatti, when the Arahat goes into Arahat Pala Samāpatti, what sort of awareness is that? Apart from the day-to-day when he goes on dana or something like that. So when he goes on daily activities, his asvimana is not there. So that's one kind of awareness. And when he goes to Arahat Pala Samāpatti, that's a different state of consciousness.
No, it is same thing. It's just that he can create and destroy without having any asmimana of doing it. And in fact, he doesn't have any attachment towards Buddha Dhamma also, which is the truth in case of an Anagami, that he holds on to the Buddha Dhamma, whereas an Arhat doesn't hold on to anything. It doesn't make him anything. If anybody says anything about Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, he doesn't even care.
Okay, because I thought it's the Pala fruitation. So Sotapatti fruitation, Saprutagami. So when
Yeah,
they go into fruitation.
When we say we got a fruit, it means what? You have completed that stage. That's it.
Oh, okay.
That's
Thank
all.
you.
Like when you get into Anagami, like I said about the fourth jhana, you stay onto the fourth jhana for a long period of time, then you know it's just ended. There's nothing on to hold on to that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sure. Yes, Venu.
Sir,
Yes.
in one of many suttas, Buddha told what is impermanent is suffering. What is suffering is anatta, like means not.
Correct.
Is it true, sir?
Is first and foremost, you need to see that anicca has two key words there. One is uncertainty, anishchit, and one is impermanent, which is anitya. Both are there. You take two links in the Patisamutpada, it is anitya, like jati and jara. As a day progressing, you're dying. Simple. So it's diminishing. So that can be experienced. Whereas another thing is anishchit, means uncertain. Is anything certain in life? And nothing is certain in life. So his question is, if you're following Patisamutpanna, how things happen, it's on anishchit, unconditioned, it's on uncertainty principle. If anything is uncertain in life, is it not going to lead into dukkha? And the answer is yes. If anything that is leading to that dukkha, can you do something about it? And the answer is no. And hence it is anatta. Example, I want to go out today. Am I certain of going out today? If things meets expectation, that means if it is meets the condition, necessary condition, then I can go. If the condition is not met, no matter what I do, it can't work. Let's say I'm at the airport, flight is cancelled, can't go. I applied for a visa and I didn't get the visa, can't go. So it's dependent on the visa, and there's no guarantee I'm going to get the visa. There's no guarantee the flight is going to fly on time. So there's always an anxiety of, any anxiety is a dukkha. So there's no guarantee of anything. Can anybody's life be guaranteed? And the answer is no. Life is uncertain, is unstable. That's what he says, adduva. Means anything that is adduva or adruva or unstable, you can't promise anything. You can just wish that it be good, but wishing might not give us whatever you want, because anything that you wish cannot happen leads to vexation, meaning leads to stress and anxiety, which is dukkha. And that which you cannot do anything about it is anatta. So it's not always impermanence leading to dukkha and dukkha leading to anatta. It is either from paticcasamuppanna you're talking about. So there's a sutta called Pachaya Sutta, where you have to see from anishchit point of view, uncertainty point of view. Or you take two links in a formula and say that, oh, you know what, if it is jati and jara, jara and vyadi, vyadi and marana, then it goes on the anitya. And you can experience it yourself, experiment it yourself and see whether what I'm saying is right or wrong. That anything in this world is certain. Only death is certain, but still uncertain when. Right? Agree with me? Okay. If something is uncertain, will it make you feel happy? Yes, Shaniel. Can it make you happy? Not at all. Say, let's say, I'm going in November to Australia. Okay, book the ticket. Okay, what if the flight is delayed? Can be delayed. I can't promise the flight will fly on time. Right? There's an anxiety of reaching the airport. What if India and Pakistan are at war by November and the flights are cancelled in India? Everything is uncertain. So there is always dukkha. And because it's uncertain. Now, if you take two links, is anitya, 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 because every breath going away is death. So that comes in, goes away. So it is arising, passing, arising, passing, arising, which is death. And that is dukkha again. The same principle, but there are two ways of seeing it. One through pachaya. So he explains there are two ways of seeing bhikkhus. One is through pachaya and one is through paticcasamuppanna. That is, pachaya means paticcasamuppanna and paticcasamuppada. He says what comes to paticcasamuppada is through the linking, and what is paticcasamuppanna is different. So it starts with anicca, paticcasamuppanna, then sankata, Dhamma, Vaidhamma, Viragadhamma, Nirodha Dhamma. The four dhammas and three ways of seeing is what is uncertainty all about. That makes it things very uncertain.
Sir, in the Sotapanna level, Sakkayaditthi is removed. But still, Anagami, Mana is there. Why does Mana is there, sir? Still,
Sakkaya Ditti means I am this body. That's all what has gone. And for your kind information, I just said just now, if you don't have a witness consciousness, you are going to die. There is a witness consciousness. The six consciousnesses are not there. That's okay. That doesn't make any difference. But if you say that all chittas arise and perish, the chitta is what have life. Life source is cut. So Buddha Dhamma would mean nothing then. So Mana is going to be there till Arhat because the witness consciousness has to go and the witness consciousness cannot go. Simple. Because that's a witness. I just now said Sakshi Bhava. So you mean to say the Sakshi Bhava should go away? So Sakshi means what? There's something there, right? And that will have Mana. Obviously it will have Mana. It has learned the art of getting out of the apayas. Who is going to apaya? Who is going to apaya? The consciousness is landing in apaya. That means it's there, right? Right. Now, who is going into anagami? No womb birth. That means there's a birth, right? That means some consciousness should be there to be reborn there. And hence mana. So the five higher, it's called higher fetters because they are not in the reach of Sotapanna. Sotapanna is like just going and joining a school. That's it. There's nothing great about it. But we have made it too big, all I can say. That attaining Sotapanna itself is the biggest achievement of all. But it's just going to a school. So from that standpoint, the mana and Ruparaga, Aruparaga, Udacha, these four things have to be removed before the avidya goes away. Why there is mana? Because the Ruparaga, Aruparaga. Tell me one thing, Venugopal, are you able to attain 8 jhanas?
So possible.
I'm not talking
It's possible.
I'm not talking it's possible. Are you at present in 8 jhanas? Have you ever done 8 jhanas?
Yes.
No. When you do 8 jhanas, you will see for yourself the mana gets developed. Why? Because you can get into jhana. Okay. Now, no matter how much you say there's no I remaining, there is an I without which you can't attain jhana. All that what we just now spoke is perception on consciousness. If the consciousness itself is not there, Venugopal, then who is attaining jhana? Can a dead man attain jhanas then? Like that. There is going to be mana. And the mana will go away only at arhat because the fetters have to be let go. For the fetters to let go, you need to soften off the witness consciousness. That's a process. That is through dite matam, sute matam, that overall development of that will reduce this witness consciousness, which was witnessing, which was what we can say, policing the 6 consciousness, now will retreat. It will go back. That, oh, I don't have ayatanas. Let me tell you how it works. So there is Vijnana entering into the womb. So Jati, Sanjati, Okkanti, Abhinibhatti, Khandanam Patha Bhavo, Ayatanam Patilabo. Now this ayatanas is the one which it is holding on to. Which one? This consciousness. Now you think it's going to give up the 6 ayatanas? No. It's used to it. So slowly will let go of it. Once it lets go of it, then only it turns into Arhata Phala Samāpatti. Then it is gone.
So, and then Sotapanna to Anagami, they understand partially Anatta. Understand Anatta partially.
No. Anatta they have understood. But the witness consciousness is different. So that's what I'm again and again trying to tell you. If there were no witness consciousness at all, then your whole work is futile. If there were no policemen at all, whom are you policing? There should be one policeman, right? Who is seeing where the eyes are going. Who is doing Indriya Samvara? Who? We can say the mind itself is doing its own, right? Okay, very good. Then for whom it is Anagami then? Then we'll say mind itself became Anagami. Because I don't want to use the word what? Atta. But what does Buddha says? Attahi attanona. Why atta? We should have said anattahi anattonato. So we have taken this too far. In our quest to make anatta means no self. So now we are troubled. This is something called self. Atta means self. Self is self. So what do? You have to say that no, that is not how it is. This is how it is. So you have to justify. There's nothing to justify. There is a witness, and the witness also goes away when there's nothing to witness. Simple as that.
Somebody says, some teacher says, there is no experiencer, only experiencing is there.
Yes, sir. Now, if there is nothing there, has he ever gone into Nirodha to see who is experiencer and what is getting experienced? When you enter into Nirodha Samāpatti, you yourself will come to know who is the experiencer and what is experience. It's like somebody asking, what is the taste of a grape? I can write a book. And the best thing is, pluck a grape. Got it. Now you explain in the language. That's the problem. You should get it yourself. Then it works. Now, there is a problem with language and semantics of language. You try your best to explain in language, it will be confusing because what is Nirodha? What gets into Nirodha? And he has given it very nicely. Perception. Consciousness has a perception, which is what he's explaining there. I've changed the perception, I've changed the perception. And the perception can be completely changed at the 8th jhana. You don't take anything. So it ceases. Now, who ceases? I cease. No, nobody said that. The 6 senses are closed, which is what Nibbana is. 6 senses have got nothing to do with you. Simple. And what Goenka also says, or Ubakin says, closing of 6 sense doors is Nibbana, which is correct. So the 6 senses are closed. You get Nibbana. Now, whether the eye went away, yes, the eye of seeing, the eye of hearing, the eye of tasting, touching, smelling, thinking is gone. But is there any other eye to experience? No. Because the experience or the experienced is gone. What remains is only the experiencer. Without an senses, is there an experiencer other than the experience? And the answer is no. So at the most you can say the experienced is gone and the experiencer remains, which is what the witness is. Now at Parinibbana what happens? The experiencer is gone. Because there's nothing to be experienced, right?
So last part is how we understand Sutta and put into practice that matters a lot. I feel, sir. I feel like that.
Yes,
Yes, you last time told Suttamaya Panya, Chintamaya Panya, and Bhavanamaya Panya. The all 3 are very important, sir.
yes. You can't miss the middle one, Chintamaya. You have to spend lot of time on that sutta. Keep on reflecting till you experience it. And then implement it in Bhavanamaya and you will see, I got it. That is yours now. No matter who says what, got it. And it's your experience.
Sadhu, sir.
That's your experience. Otherwise, what we do, Venugopal, we just see one sutta for 15-20 minutes. Next sutta. Stupid guy, stay for months on that. Keep that one single sutta. Keep on reflecting. Even the simplest of the sutta, keep on reflecting for many weeks. Don't give up. You'll get a lot of insights. Don't give up. Just keep that sutta active. Just reflect. Is this the way it is? Is this the way it is? Oh, why does he say this way? Why does he say that way? Then make notes. See, can you experience it? That's the reason I told you take Upama Suttas, because you can experiment it. Then make your own notes. Okay, let me put it in this way. See what happens. It will help you in understanding Pali also. Because you're relaxed. Now there's no rush to go through many suttas. Just take few suttas which you think is good for you. Just like the ones you have taken 25.1 series, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 25.10. That is all is required for Sotapanna. Take that, reflect, 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 reflect. What is Viparinami means? What is Anyatha Bhavi means? What is Anicca means? Forget about what English impermanent or whatever permanent. Who cares? See the reality. Is anything as per your liking? No. Even if it is as per your liking, will it stay? There is no. So, is my lifespan ending one day by another day? Yes. Isn't it an impermanent? Yes. Isn't that Kaya Dhamma Kshaya diminishing? Yes. Kaya Dhamma, Vaya Dhamma, Viraga Dhamma, Nirodha Dhamma. Isn't it going like in that fashion? After Kaya, Vyaya, gone forever. Then Viraga, it doesn't even care. Nirodha, it ceased. Like 7th of May 2025, sorry, 7th of July 2025, gone forever. You will not get it back. That's a Dhamma, Nirodha Dhamma. So isn't it true? Yes. Isn't it uncertainty then? I can name it as 7th of July, but it's just a name. It doesn't care whether 7th July or 17th July or 100th July, it doesn't care. For convention, we have put it as July 31 days, August 31 days, September 30 days, like that. But as far as the nature goes, it has got nothing to do with what you call it as. So isn't it the most fascinating thing that whatever arises passes away? Am I not seeing it as anicca, arising and passing? Yes. Am I not seeing it as anishchit, like a certain? Yes. Anything is certain with you? Isn't that anatta then? You can't certainly say anything. You now understand anatta. That's the reason it's called anyatha bhavi. It becomes otherwise. Whatever you thought will work, may work, may not work. Isn't it that? Yes. Did I not get that in Rupa? So he starts with Rupa. The first one is Rupa, 25.1. So you have to finish all of them. And then you will see yourself. Yes, I'm a Sotapanna. For myself. I've seen it for myself. No matter the world says you are not a Sotapanna, you say, forget it. Why waste time? I know what I am. But you please remember, there is an I. I have become Sotapanna. I. Okay. Then I have become Sakadagami. That will remain. I have become Anagami. That will remain. Only an Arhat can say, I'm not an Arhat. But there's no I as an Arhat.
I understand I is also like impermanent. It's not permanent like that.
Pardon, please?
I is there, but we understand I is also impermanent, not permanent like that.
Yes. Correct.
Means anicca.
Yes. Anicca.
Sir, one more thing. Anicham viparinamya anyata bhava. That is similar also like anicca dukkha anata.
Yes, that is all what it is. He has explained it in another way.
Oh.
Viparinami is, it will not give you the, parinama means what? Result. Viparinami means different result. Right? If anything that is moving, will it give you the same result? No. It will give you different result, which is dukkha. And anyatha, yatha means as it is. Anyatha means different. Anya yatha, anyatha bhavi. It becomes otherwise. It becomes different. What becomes different? You don't want to die, but you die. You don't want anything to happen, but it happens. So That is what is anyatha bhava, or rather anatta. You don't have a control. Basically. You can't say, I want to control. That you don't have. That's what it is. Okay. It's all
Sir, last thing.
Yes, go ahead.
Sir, last thing. You said Chintamaya Punya. It is related to Chintamaya Punya. In Samhita 55.55 means Sotapatti Palasachikiriyaya Sutta is there, no? From 55 to 74, same four things, really, like Sapresa Samseva, Sadhana Savana, Vyavasamana Sikara, and Dhammanagama Patipati. Remaining 16 suttas are related to Panya. There are 16 types of Panya are there. So, developing these four things, those Panyas are developing, sir, 16 kinds of Panya.
Yes, it will develop. See,
Uh,
in this, both will get developed. The chitta also gets developed. That is, the mind purification also panya gets developed. It depends on both. Like a saddhanusari and a dhammanusari, they both get developed on that. So whichever comes out first, that is all what it would be. Okay, Bobby. See you tomorrow again.